This is the Steve Gruber
Well,
Show.
it sure is, and I'm glad to see you bright and early again today. Glad to have you on board for the conversation. We're kicking off another brand new day here in the heart of America, fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom here at the Steve Gruber Show. And it makes me ask, who do you want in your foxhole? Who's going to be there when the chips are down? Who's going to be there when it really matters? All right, we're burning daylight, and we need to get rolling. So here we go. 3 big things you need to know this hour. Number one, it seems that John Bolton had classified documents in his home when it was raided by the feds, which means, well, he wasn't telling the truth. Number two, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says if Mamdani, the communist running for mayor of New York City, comes looking for a bailout for left-wing programs, that answer will be a hard no. And number three, another day, another act of despicable political violence fomented by the rhetoric on the left. This is not a both sides issue. And I'm afraid these tragedies are just going to continue because the left refuses to take any responsibility at all. Let's lay it out, shall we? 3 people were shot, 1 killed in an ICE facility, Dallas, Texas. Happened yesterday morning. The alleged shooter, 29-year-old Joshua John. And preliminary evidence suggests he was motivated by far-left anti-ICE ideology, among other things. But get this. This idiot didn't even kill ICE agents. The 3 people he shot were all immigrant detainees, and he killed one of them. This is where unhinged violence leads. You see, he was up top shooting down into a van indiscriminately in the Sally Port. And how do we know it's far-left violence? Well, here's a picture. The FBI has released an image of unspent cartridges bearing anti-ICE messaging, making the political motivations crystal clear. Again, maybe Jimmy Kimmel will make jokes about this too. Maybe he thinks this is funny, right? Maybe he does. These horrendous killings must serve as a wake-up call to the far left that their rhetoric about ICE has consequences. Comparing ICE day in and day out to the Nazi Gestapo, to the secret police and slave patrols has consequences. The men and women of ICE are fathers and mothers, sons and daughters. They get up every morning to try and make our community safer. Like everyone else, they just want to go home to their families at night. That was posted yesterday on the internet, as it should be. Democrats can deflect and deny all they want, but we have the receipts, and worse, we have the bodies. Here was Gavin Newsom the night before Wednesday's attack. Listen to what he had to say.
That's happening in the United States of America. Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process. No oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country.
Yeah. Here's Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who represents the district right next door to where the shooter took those lives yesterday. Listen.
When I see ICE, I see slave patrols. Now, I never lived through the slave patrol period, but if you know the history of policing in this country, then you understand that they were born out of slave patrols.
Oh, born out of slave patrols. I get it. I'll provide you with another despicable example. Failed vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, calling ICE agents the Gestapo. Yeah, it's always back to making the law enforcement the worst people in the world, the worst people in the history of the world, in fact. That's who these folks are. Then they wonder why there's violence. Listen to this.
Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. No chance to mount a defense, not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye, just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it, that they just continue down this road? They don't care. They don't care. It's like they all got a sheet full of the same talking points that have emboldened self-wing activists to shoot up ICE facilities and harass ICE agents at home and at work and anywhere they find them. It's not a both sides issue. They can kick and scream and claim that it is. Well, the statistics say this and that. No, try again. In just the last few weeks, left-wing activists have, and I'll do this, 1, assassinated Charlie Kirk. 2, celebrated his death. 3, vandalized his memorials. 4, assaulted and threatened his supporters. Happened again yesterday. 5, shot up ICE facilities at least twice. Shot up an ABC TV station for not airing Jimmy Kimmel. Planted a bomb on a Fox News vehicle. Issued a bomb threat against RFK Jr.'s home. And that's just the partial list, folks. That's just the partial list. Less than a month ago, a trans radical opened fire on a bunch of Catholic children, murdering them through the windows during Mass. It's not a both sides issue. When will it stop? The answer is, I'm sad to say, it won't. It won't. Not until the left changes its tune. We're not going to see that anytime soon. No, they're okay with this, you see. The president of the American Federation of Teachers, still out here touting her book in which she claims that conservatives don't want their kids educated. You can already guess which term she's using to describe conservatives. It's so predictable. Randi Weingarten, here she is.
Why do fascists fear teachers? Why do they fear pluralism? Why do they fear knowledge? Why don't they want to help teachers help kids? So I wrote this book. I hope you read it. I hope you find it important. I hope you like it. Thank you.
Let's see here. Why fascists fear teachers. Why fascists fear teachers. Wow. They just don't get it, do they? They just don't. And in case it's not clear who she means by fascist, she sets the record straight in her piece in Rolling Stone. It's Donald Trump and the right, which I guess means me. I guess that's me. I'm the fascist. By the way, again, I say it again. I'm not a fascist. I am a father. I'm not a Nazi. I am a neighbor. I'm not a white supremacist. I am an American who believes in this country. By the way, that's the lady heading up a teachers union all over the country, influencing what they're going to say to the kids in front of the classroom. Yeah. How comforting. Liberals are just dishing it out in spades this week. Actually, here's Hillary Clinton just yesterday saying we need to stop demonizing our opponents right before, well, you guessed it, demonizing her opponents. Here's another failed presidential candidate. Listen.
We've got to stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. Writing out slavery from history, that doesn't make it go away. We have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating. How about we stop the damn lying? Enough of her. God, she makes me sick. Nobody's writing out slavery from history. They'll take one little thing. Let's teach slavery process. Oh, they want to take it out. Let's teach accurate history. Oh, they're trying to whitewash history. You see, whitewash because they're white supremacists. These people are truly sick. Truly sick. But they have an advantage, you see, because they've got all these little robots looking at their phones that think that a 12-second clip on TikTok is news. Oh, Charlie Kirk, he was a racist and a homophobe and blah, 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 blah. None of those things are true. None of it. And don't worry, we'll keep setting the record straight, as will hundreds of thousands of new members of Turning Point USA. I'll be right back. By the way, who else is getting demonized these days? Well, I am. Usually twice over. Right? Usually twice over. Because white Christian men, of course, are the mortal enemy of Democrats, of crazy old white liberals. It's white men that are the mortal enemy. I know because she said so. Listen. Idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you, we were on the right trajectory.
Christian men, you're the problem. Christian men, you're the ones out killing people in ICE vehicles and gunning down political opponents at rallies. Oh, wait, that's not you. This goes exactly to the point that I made yesterday. The left wants a world with no morals, no strong men. We need strong men and fathers. They want a world with no guidance. Well, we're seeing the fruit of that. Wave after wave of political violence committed by left-wing nutcases, activists who have nothing to live for, apparently,
This violence isn't just sprouting up organically, it's being organized and funded by left-wing mega donors like George Soros. Those are the facts. His organization, one of them, has donated $80 million to pro-terror groups in recent years. You might ask how they can operate so brazenly, with so much audacity and little shame. Well, the answer is because there are no consequences, because the machine shields its own. Look no further than Jimmy Kimmel, suspended for cracking jokes about Charlie Kirk's assassination and pushing lies about the shooter being MAGA. Of course, it was a blatant lie. Now has his job back, and of course, they got big viewership the first couple of days. We got the non-apology, the fake waterworks, all the while completely writing off and rewriting what he did. He didn't take accountability for any of it. Listen.
I've been hearing a lot about what I need to say and do tonight, and the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset.
But I can't quite say I'm sorry, of course, because I'm incapable of apologizing for my egregious behavior. That's what he should have finished with. He's chalking this all up to a misunderstanding. Let me be clear. There was no misunderstanding. He did point the finger directly at Trump and Trump supporters. We're not going to let you just whitewash your words. Roll the tape. Here it is.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Anything but one of them. It's nothing like us, Jimmy. Plain as day. Jimmy lied. If you're not going to take accountability, then spare us the fake tears, all right? Spare us. If you're not going to take accountability for what you said and what you did, that rings completely hollow. And that wasn't all we got from him. We got the same old, blaming Donald Trump when all else fails, of course. Listen.
President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. He was somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS. Then he turned his sights on me, and now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and the hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars. And I hope that if that happens, or if there's even any hint of that happening, you will be 10 times as loud as you were this week. We have to speak out against this stuff.
Yeah, well, gee, if there's income disparity, you should share this income inequality, Jimmy. By God, take a pay cut and help your staff out. He wants to wear the martyr's badge, but let's get something straight. His show is a joke. It's never been important to begin with. In fact, while he was on suspension, fun fact, reruns of Celebrity Family Feud took his place, and they got 2.5 times his viewership. Now, he had a big night the night he came back. We'll see where it is in a month or two. We'll see where we are in a month or two. And we'll see where we go from here. We will. We got a lot more to cover here today. But until the left owns its toxic talking points and the fact that it is ginning up these killers like the guy at the ICE facility, there's not much else to do but for them to change their ways. We've got them. We've got them. I want you to be healthy. The Wellness Company has an assortment of great products for you. The best spike protein formula. It's the gold standard. The best emergency kits, gold standard. the best parasite cleanse, gold standard, and the best methylene blue, gold standard. Whatever you're looking for. Supplements, emergency antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics. It's all there at the Wellness Company. TWC.com/Gruber. TWC.health, excuse me. TWC.health/Gruber. You'll save money and you'll be a step ahead being healthy. We'll be right back.